Yeah, somebody asked me a question on uh like a while back about like deck builds and they wanted to know if they could look at my deck recipes. Here's the thing, I don't allow people to look at my deck recipes for two reasons. One is because I put a lot of time and effort into making my own uh personal like deck builds. I, I researched the game, uh, allow and the cards, and I make deck builds that are uniquely designed to my liking. The second reason is that people don't like to think for themselves when it comes to this game. Now, I will say this: it is understandable when you're new to the game and you're asking for some advice. But if you're just asking for somebody to just make you a deck build, pretty much you're going to end up with the same thing like the last 500 people have. And that's why I don't ask people for any advice. I rarely ask for people for advice, and I don't let anybody look at my deck builds because I've been asked on many different occasions, you know, can someone, see my deck? And then that happened, and then next thing you know, somebody's running around with the same deck build that I had. And I learned from that experience that, I'm not showing anybody my deck builds anymore because people are copycats. That's the reason why you have all these Tengu, uh, 5 plant monster decks out there. People using the same format. Like, I can't tell you how many, uh, the 5 plant monster decks I've seen, and it's basically just like the same thing. And that's the reason why I don't like giving out my deck recipes. And like this game is too vast and it's too many cards out there that can help you make a strategy if you just think about what works with what. Like, if I have this monster on the field and I use it in combination with this trap card, or if I have this trap card on the field and I use it in combination with this spell, I can make something happen that's really unique. It doesn't take much thinking to really play this game. It really doesn't. And now more than ever, since most of these decks people use involve like what they call like autoplay. Um, you know, these decks basically just play themselves. So if you really want to make a deck build and you don't want to put any effort into it, like, it's deck recipes all over the internet that can, help you make whatever it is that you're trying to make. I've seen people ask, like, uh, strictly for a top tier deck build. Like, can someone help me make a top tier deck? And every time I see that, it's like, man, don't, like, I don't ask for help personally because, I already said it, because people just give you the same cards. It's always the same cards that they, you know, um, that they tell everybody else to use because basically their knowledge of this game isn't as vast as someone who actually like researches the cards in this game to try to find more effective effects with less of a negative side effect to it. Like I said, like on my last video, I spoke on like solemn judgment, and I did not like the fact that you gotta pay all these life points just to, you know, like negate something. And that's just because if you notice, nobody that uses, well, anybody that uses solemn warning or solemn judgment, they all, every last single person that I've seen use solemn warning and solemn judgment, they all have the same way of playing it, and that's just activated like just to stop something. And if you're just using the card's effect without asking yourself, what is it that I can do to counter these negative side effects of these cards, ergo, you know, this huge life point payment, then, you know, like you're just on autoplay. You're not thinking about, is there a way for me to like counter this life point payment? Because with solemn judgment, I believe that's what it is, you have to pay half your life points. And at the beginning of a duel, like, that's 4,000 life points if you activate that card. That's a lot. That is a lot of LP to be paying. I'm just saying, that is a lot of LP to be paying. And, yeah, it's not something that you necessarily want to use, especially if you're not sure what cards you're going to get next, because like drawing cards is strictly based on luck in this game, and if you don't have enough luck, so, well, I'm gonna say it like this: if you're not lucky enough to draw the cards that you need, then you just put yourself at a life point disadvantage, and that's a possibility that I'm not willing to take. I mean, it's a might not be a big possibility, but it's still a possibility, and that's a possibility that has won me a lot of duels, because I don't put myself at that LP disadvantage. Because really, like, when you use cards like Solemn Warning and Solemn Judgment or any other card like that, that involves you paying like over half of your life points or like whatever, you're putting yourself at a life point disadvantage, and that's less work for your opponent to do in order to take you out and, you know, like, win the game. So yeah, it's like people say the same cards, like you can ask for deck building help and people are only going to refer to the same cards: Brian Eckert, Ice Barrier, Trishula, Ice Barrier, knowing good well that you can make a competitive deck without synchros, but hey, that's all they know, so that's all they're going to refer to you. Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment, Stardust Dragon, Allied Justice Catastor, what else is out there? Well, that's basically it right there. You know, that's the top cards that they're going to refer you to get. It's like when you ask for deck building help, they don't ask you back what type of deck it is you're trying to build. They just start like making all these card suggestions without really trying to find what your interest in this particular deck you're trying to build. So basically asking for deck help, it really won't help you much unless you find somebody that really, how can I put it? Unless you find somebody that, I don't know how to say it. It's like, unless you find somebody that has some like unique sense and enough knowledge about the game that won't necessarily like refer to these particular cards I named, like the same dime a dozen cliche crap, then it's basically a waste of time. Because if you're new to the game, the last thing you want to play with is a card like Solemn Judgment, because just like the people that use it currently, they don't find a way to counteract those negative side effects. So my best advice to anybody when it comes to deck building is to just research the game. Like, they have websites that can help you, like YuGiOh, and like you could just go there and you can type in, you know, like this particular card, and then type in deck. They can give you some recommendations. Now you can take these recommendations into consideration, and you can build the deck off of that. And you know, but then you can, like, you know, just switch it up to like to your liking even more, because like YuGiOh, it only gives recommendations. Like it won't tell you, okay, well, this card over here is going to work a lot, you know, like better than these cards over here. Like, they just give recommendations, and they're just as bad as the people that. And that website offers the same cards that, you know, anybody else that you ask for help will, you know, like suggest to you. Like, I've used YuGiOh, and all I got was for trap cards for certain deck builds that I was trying to find out, like, new cards about, were Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning, like Mirror Force, and, you know, cards like that, the same repetitive cliche cards, and when there's other cards out there that work a lot better than that. So, you know, whatever. Like, the only advice I can give to you, this is coming from somebody that's been playing this game and has been researching this game since 2002. The only advice I can give you for deck building is to just research the game as much as you can, and try to research as many cards as you can, because I found plenty cards that work extremely well, that have extremely good effects, that I really don't understand why people wait until they see somebody else, you know, with it, and then all of a sudden, like, it just blows up. And, you know, my only advice I can give you is to just like research the game to the best of your abilities, and keep on researching, because because you're going to find cards that work better than what other people can suggest to you, because chances are all they're going to suggest to you is the same old crap. The same old, you know, dime a dozen like popular cards, you know, that they honestly believe are quote unquote staples when they're not. But yeah, that's gonna mark the end of this video today. And well, tonight. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.